I was talking to Morgan today, and she was like, "Do you like Kesha?" I'm like, "I don't dislike Kesha."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Well, do you like her?" I'm like, "I don't know. She hasn't really done anything like spectacular." I was like, "Yeah, but she has like a really traumatic like backstory, and like I really support her." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great and all, but like as a musician, I can't name anything like spectacular she's done."
Hey,
Like her music's really good.
that one song where she's like, "I brushed my teeth with a bottle of Jack." That was pretty cool. Also, we're streaming.
TikTok.
We're streaming
Yeah,
now. So
I like how you knew the song, but yeah, I was
TikTok.
like, she's never done anything like bombastic.
Mm-mm.
It's all bait. It's all very, very bottom level musical bait. And she was like, "Well, what type of music do you listen to?" I'm like, or she specifically, she's like, "What's your taste in music like?" Because that's her taste. She likes girl punk and like all that type of shit. I'm like, I don't really have a taste in music, and the taste in music that I have is trash. Because I listen to shit like Avenged Sevenfold or System of a Down. Although I will say System of a Down.
They're bad. I would say System of a Down's actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're not terrible, but I also am like, most of those don't have any musical merit. And then I started thinking about it myself. I'm like, I never used to think about musical merit at all, or know at all what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But because you talk about it, and because we talk about it as a group, and you make it a point to talk about it, it has made me think about it in a different way to form my own opinions. Because you start forming your opinions on those around you, and then you go off on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that I'm also like that. But I specifically with music have noticed that you particularly have that effect, and I don't know if it's true with Dave or not, but I feel like it is.
I think.
What, you think
You learned from me, dude. Child.
I don't.
No, I think a lot of that is that our friend group is not based around some like singular common interest.
Totally.
We are just friends. And I think a lot of friend groups are. So like all of, I don't know, I'm going to say the Europeans, a lot of Europeans or like South Americans or people who are really into soccer get into soccer. And that's what they talk about is soccer or some shit. But then they get into it for that reason. And that's what they talk about. There could be, their own personal stuff, but it's all based on that. We don't have anything else it's based on, but we all have our things that we want to talk about. And because it's our friends, we want to listen to people talk about those things. So I think all of us impart own knowledge and understanding to everyone else. Oh,
I
don't
also
worry.
think that
It's before 7 anyway.
none of us have like a specific
getting into
niche
Yeah.
per se. Like everybody knows that if we want to talk about music, we'll talk to you or Blake, or like. But everyone has opinions on everything. And not everyone like. There isn't a specific singular thing that someone is known for knowing shit about.
I guess that's fair.
Per se, like I guess if someone wanted to know something about working out, they could reach out to you, me, or John.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't necessarily reach out to Blake or Norman. But even amongst you, me, or John, like we all know pretty much the same shit. We'll ask each other opinions just because it's bouncing off like a different perspective. But like I don't feel like I have a specialized set of knowledge that people would come to me for. But
Well, I think
chemistry stuff.
I'm not very smart in that regard, or I don't remember a lot of it. I remember basics that I guess the layman wouldn't know, but for the most part, it's very base level.
But it's always going to be more than someone else. Because there's always going to be someone who knows more than you, and people who know less than you.
Yeah.
And we all will know less than you.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So,
Yeah, anyone asking you about history, about chemistry is going to know less than you.
It was very funny talking to the foreign exchange students and telling them my degree and what I do.
Yeah.
Because they all just stopped talking. They were like, "What do you do?" Like they had their own side conversations. Like, "Oh, well, I got my degree in biochemistry and molecular biology, and I work in food safety." They all just went, "What?"
That's what one of the people does, but
yeah.
yeah. She's like cut up a body before. She mentioned that during very casual conversation.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's really
I don't want to name drop her because we're a very successful pod with millions of viewers, and I don't want her to get harassment.
Millions of Indian bots that watch our videos.
Behold, 1 billion. We should be the first YouTube channel to get 1 billion views purely through bots.
10 billion with our first 10 billion YouTube video, not a single one of them real. and they're all unique. It's like, hold on.
See, we could use that to get on like other shows, and then we can start shit with other content creators and get drama views.
Be cool. How much would that cost, though?
God.
To get
A billion views.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, with how good bot farms are getting, like. Wait, let's do this.
Let's do the math.
Let's do it
More or
live.
less
Let's
than
do it live.
But I'm trying to
Let's-
think,
let's,
like, if we wanted to get into drama with some other YouTuber to make us big, like, who do we know? Like, no one really knows, like, Donkey or, like, we don't know anyone who knows
There's-
Keemstar.
Oh, but we do.
We do?
Okay,
God, that'd be funny.
That would be absolutely funny. For those in the audience who do not know, we're not going to name drop, but we do know someone who was talking to Keemstar. I don't know how she started
Courted
talking.
by Keemstar.
Yeah.
Quartet.
And then so she was going to, what was it? It was like
Fly
going
to Buffalo.
Yeah. But I thought before that she was going to try and get him to buy her nudes, and he said, "I'm not going to do that."
He's like, I wouldn't send you a cent.
Yeah. And then fly up to Buffalo.
Apparently, so YouTube
She
can.
never did.
Does know if you're using bots.
But does YouTube care?
So we gotta start small. So we like have one video get like 90
1,000 views.
views, and then like or maybe like 90, then 500, then
Ooh.
1,000, then a
We
couple more
pick-
1,000 views, and we like.
We pick a weird niche of a country that has phones, internet, and YouTube access, but also doesn't really do it much. Like, if we just start talking about, Nigerian politics,
Yes.
we're in the game, boys.
Can we please
Like-
be a Nigerian?
We're a Nigerian
Okay,
podcast.
we're doing this, dude. Okay,
Absolutely not.
Nigeria new. This could actually be a niche.
Real princess from Nigeria.
Nigeria news. Okay, let's see.
In
Oh,
American news, did you hear about Biden setting a minimum tax for companies to fight inflation?
Oh, no, I didn't see
It's
this.
Set it at 15% tax.
base.
Minimum.
Boo.
God damn.
To fight
That's
inflation.
a lot of money.
Yeah, the anti. Oh,
Doesn't make sense.
It could go a lot of ways, but it's probably going to go the worst way.
The worst possible way, I think, would be they have the tax and no one's like, they're going to take our money away. And so people stop spending things, and so we have deflation.
Which we kind of want.
you do, I guess
Well,
that'd be
no,
good.
no, no. You don't want deflation because if as soon as you have deflation or it's like the dollar's not going to grow, then no one invests or spends money on anything because inflation is controlled inflation, kids. Is good because if it's going up by 2%, you're like, fuck, I'm essentially losing money that I don't spend. But this thing, my PlayStation is not going to go down in worth. It will always be that. I can always get the same thing out of it. I
see.
won't always get the same thing out of $1. But if you're deflating, it's like, well, if I don't buy this today, I can buy it and have more money tomorrow and the next day. And so everyone will just continue waiting for deflation to.
Yeah, but what would you call it if the rate of inflation, like right now, it's around like 10%?
Mhm.
If it goes down to 2%, isn't that technically deflation?
No, because it would be because we would still have $1 that.
Negative.
Yes,
I do have like an Avengers cast like level of friends that are all great but incredibly unreliable.
You just summon them. Well, sadly,
But when they do
No,
show
no.
up, it's cool.
Is Raven still dog sitting?
I believe she is still dog sitting.
Is that like a side gig that she has?
I don't fucking know. I
Because
think-
she sits for a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
yeah, like it's gotta be.
does
Actually,
sit on.
Because
a
I'm
lot
like,
of
did she
dogs.
just know that many people who go on vacation for weeks?
Well, I know there's like apps and services and stuff where you can specifically be a dog sitter.
yeah, I think she does that, and like there's
Which-
there's babysitting apps too.
Mm.
There's
They-
actually only for women. Like dog sitting Yeah,
Yeah.
like men can kind of get in there, but babysitting, no one will leave a man alone with their kids.
They pay you a lot of money for, and then don't care about anything. There was a friend that I had who did dog sitting for, I think it was like 3 or 4, or I think it was just house sitting for like 3 or 4 days on some kind of app like that, and they paid her like $200 for 4 days. But it was
That's
you
not
can
bad.
have anyone over that you want. You can just use all of the stuff that we have here and yada yada.
They essentially just want
what
someone
the fuck?
to make sure no one breaks in. Like, they don't
Yeah.
really care if you make a mess. Like, some people are more strict, but yeah.
Yeah, it's something.
It makes sense.
Did you guys see, like, the FBI just raiding Trump's house a few
Didn't
nights
see
ago?
that.
I don't think anyone's not seen that.
Yeah. Like, well, there's probably one motherfucker who only, like, uses Instagram as social media that has no, like there are people that legitimately have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's right.
The
I only
moron
use
logo.
4chan as my news source, so
You knew about it before the FBI knew they were raiding.
I knew about it back in
someone-
2015.
Because
and
some
said,
fucker on
"President
poll
Trump."
said,
And he's been right every time.
and he says, "Fuck that Q guy."
I have seen very many different things about that. Of it's good and bad that the FBI raid happened. Good because it's something there. They gotta have a reason.
There's
to raid.
totally something there. Like,
Yeah. In the documents that they released, there was something that almost looked like an explicit "we're fishing." It was just asked for nothing specific. It was like anything made between the dates of this and this, and if we find it, we're justified. Which is a little bit suspicious because if you say he has documents, and they say what documents, and you say doesn't matter, he has them, then
it was like, it was one thing I saw was like they're looking for documents related to like the U.S. nuclear capabilities, which immediately is like that's a very specific thing to say. You know?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's a trigger word. I don't know if they are actually looking for what
Yeah.
they're saying that is, because like that could mean a lot of different things. Because we publicly announce our nuclear capabilities. That's one of our like things.
Yeah, but
Like every country who has nuclear capabilities is supposed to do that. So there's some things that are just public knowledge that, I mean, I wouldn't want him to have it in a personal abode, but it's not like it's super, super secret.
yeah.
yeah, I really doubt like the U.S. government publishes accurate numbers when it comes to like how many nuclear weapons we have.
No.
No.
I
There's
mean,
no way. Like,
no.
of course we'd lie about it. Like a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as much as the Russians probably. I bet the Russians lie more.
They don't really have to lie. They already have the biggest stockpile.
Yeah.
They say that like this is like my I probably mentioned
No, we it was proven. Like we had spies and shit.
yeah. Like when? Like I'm talking like
Cold War.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like after Cold War. Like, here's my like crackpot conspiracy theory about why we should first strike Moscow. So listen, nuclear missiles are ridiculously expensive to maintain because like it's like the blowy up material lasts for a while, but the shit that makes the rocket go has about a 20-year like sitting life.
Okay,
So-
you're talking about the radioactive isotope
Yes,
and the accelerant.
yeah, the shit that makes rocket go is.
Okay, maybe I do know a lot
I'm
about
doing, I'm doing this in a way the layman can understand. And so you know, like when the Soviet Union collapsed, you know, like all like every country got cut up by these different oligarchs. Like, you know, especially the military. The military is insanely corrupt, and so I seriously doubt that like General Comrade Torvish or something was actually spending the money he was supposed to spend to maintain the nuclear arsenal. We could just buy a yacht and some child prostitutes instead.
Well, that's the thing then. In that case, if we nuke Moscow, that means that one of those oligarchs could be batshit insane and say, I gotta spend a lot of money on my nukes.
You're right.
And we don't know which one it is.
Listen, all we can lose is like New York. Okay, listen, I'm fine with that. I can accept that. The people of New York are tough.
That's where
They're
the
like,
Avengers headquarters is, I think. Right? Did I do a good?
Yeah, you did.
I
do a
think
good?
they're in Philadelphia, actually.
Oh, you're doing the. No, they're in fucking New York.
No, Avengers Tower is in New York. I don't know if the Avengers headquarters. is.
No, the Avengers Towers in New York. Then in the cinema. Are we talking about MCU or like comic books?
I don't
Dude,
know.
I know nothing about the Avengers,
Well, in
but
the MCU, in the MCU, they like move the tower. They just like leave the tower, move out, and then they move to upstate New York.
I will say about the Avengers though, one of the times I felt the most retarded in my life was at we were at trivia,
Yeah.
and the trivia a shitty bullshit explanation. I don't remember who he put. And he comes back there, and he's like, so you see, in order to be considered a member of the Avengers required every single applicant to put in for their American citizenship. So he did technically become a African American due to having citizenship in both Wakanda and the United States. And it was like this year, this comic. And I sat there like, what the fuck? I can't remember. I've watched like one Marvel.
People live.
Yeah.
That is true. We do all coalesce into like 3 areas. But soon Chicago will break away from the Union.
And go to Canada.
Indeed.
But Dark Brandon is rising. I think his chances of 2024 are pretty good.
Who knows?
It depends on what he does next month.
Well, if he just black bags Trump on the White House lawn and shoots him in the back of the head,
That'd be funny.
that'd
I
be
think
metal as
it'd be-
shit. Like
it'd be
he puts on the
really
big
funny.
boss aviators and just.
He has a
think-
very confusing speech. He's like, terrorism is acceptable if only for the reasons that I'm doing this, or my competitors would say that I'm
still alive. Nanomachines.
listen here, Jack.
Democracy is a sham.
We've had enough.
Listen here, Trumpo, you're at the end of your line.
The malarkey has gone on long enough.
You're at the end of your rope. Your rope.
The day of the rope was Joe Biden's.
I think I'd be very confused at that point.
Put
I
these stairs here. It's a flat lawn.
still stumbled.
Oh shit.
Look at the video of Trump like baby stepping down the ramp at a speech he was making. He was like shuffling, like his knees are barely moving because he's like
An old man. He's only like he's not that much younger than Joe Biden, is he?
I think yeah.
I don't know. I think they're about the same age.
Yeah.
They're pretty old. Yet every time they do old man shit, it always makes me laugh. Like the video of Biden who when
76.
he walks in front of the White House and there's someone who's like beckoning him to come with them, and he just stands there, and then he starts following another Secret Service as they have to go get him.
So Trump is
So
3
funny.
years younger than Joe Biden.
Yeah, he's
Like,
not.
it's
okay.
3 years. Like at that point, like the cognitive level.
At that point, if we're saying that Trump's too old, I think everyone agrees that Biden's also.
Oh,
too
Biden
old.
should not run again. Do you remember in 2020 Trump had to take the dementia test,
Mhm.
and he was like, "It's a pretty hard test."
Have you ever taken it though? I'm just
Have you ever
saying.
taken it? Like,
I do love the. I see it all the time. It's a clip from a Joe Rogan podcast, but it's one of his guests. I think it might have been Tom Segura talking about. He talked to one of his staff mates, and they have a system where to get Trump's attention, because he's so ADHD addled, that to get his attention you have to tell him one good thing, one bad, and then sandwich it with another good thing. Like, listen, they love you for this. You're doing real good. You bombed at this thing. But they actually love it, okay? So don't do that again, but it turned out good.
that's how he talks. That's how he.
He's a
fucking,
child.
No,
He's a
he's
toddler.
literally fucking like. You can even tell he was kind of retarded back in the 80s and 90s too, like the commercials he would do. Like something wasn't quite right about his like process.
I mean, there's a reason that in Home Alone, he just pointed in the direction.
Yeah, he says that
Didn't
again.
even say anything.
Yeah.
It was really funny when he hosted SNL. I was watching an interview with like the guy that wrote like some of the bits Trump was in, and like
When was that? When was that?
oh god, it was like 2015, like before the election. Like he was hosting SNL, and he did a bit. He and his daughter were at like Disney World or something. I forget what it was. But anyway, like so he like tells his daughter like, "Come on, turkey legs," but there's a comma there. It's supposed to be, "Come on, like turkey legs. Let's get some turkey legs." But he like no matter how many times they rehearsed it with him, he just would not like say the comma turkey legs.
That's weird.
At least put a period in there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Turkey
Turkey
legs.
legs. Yeah, come on.
Come on turkey legs.
Come on, turkey legs.
I also like to come on turkey legs. What?
What?
You gotta give them some gravy.
Some bacon gravy.
Gamer, we call that gamer juice.
Gamer juice. Protein.
My father was a gamer.
My father.
John Lennon was probably
gave
the
me
first.
gamer juice.
John Lennon was probably the first gamer.
He did say the gamer word. No, wait. No, he did. He did say the gamer word. Obviously, everyone back then.
Because he hated them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
I don't
that.
know if he was racially charged. Probably, but like he probably publicly said he was okay with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he ever really.
Imagine there's no
Friends. No.
Imagine no affirmative action.
Speaking of,
He did say that.
I
I
want
thought it was a
John Lennon.
very odd song.
It was a very weird song.
Dave bringing up the video of him and Chuck Berry, and then them having Yoko Ono scream for like 5 seconds. For Chuck Berry's team is just like, nope,
And then Chuck Berry's like, his what the fuck face he's doing. He's like,
still playing his heart out, still doing a great job, and John's just like
He's just
bopping
grooving.
along. It's fucking stupid.
Alright, you guys just don't get art. Okay.
you think
You
Yoko?
shut your
Yoko Ono
fucking
sucks.
Do you
mouth.
think Yoko broke the Beatles up? Like that's like the common narrative, but I haven't done it.
Honestly, it's probably the best thing that happened to any of them because all of them went off to have very successful careers.
Except
I
for
think-
John. John died.
Well, he still had.
So did
He
George.
probably had the most critically acclaimed, I'd say, of any albums in his solo career. Plastic Ono Band, kids. And he did okay with a couple of the other ones, like sales-wise and critical-wise.
Cody, I haven't heard those ones.
Imagine, the famous
I
album.
only know Imagine.
Double, what is it?
I-
Double Fantasy?
Imagine is the one like
Like-
Imagine is kind of like George Harrison's Here Comes the Sun, like the one that everyone knows and
Yeah.
no one else knows like the others.
As my guitar gently weeps.
No, still the
That is
Beatles.
That was a good one. That was a.
Oh, that's a boss ass song.
I was listening. I was watching like Across
what
the
album was
Universe.
that on?
Because
that was in the-
Oh my god, that's a white album.
Yeah, the White Album was when they were just like, hey, you know how we keep doing these pop things? Let's do literally anything else.
And then you know what's funny? I was watching like a micro documentary about them today. Bob Dylan got them into weed when they went to America. Yeah, like they didn't do any.
Like, what the fuck is that? And he says, what do you mean, what the fuck is this? You don't smoke?
They didn't do any drugs before. That's why their music was bad until they got really high. That's a controversial opinion. I'm trying to draw hate in here.
No.
You can kind of tell when they start doing acid. Like,
When George started doing acid,
I really
the
fucking
guitar gets weird.
Lucy and the Sky of Diamonds is a fucking acid song. It's
Dude, every
Wholesome message.
every song on all of their albums, especially like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, that
Yeah.
shit's fucking
go,
whack.
gonna listen to that sometime soon. But like, okay, like it's hard for me to separate like the art from the artist when it comes to like John Lennon
Mm-hmm.
because he was like such a piece of shit.
Yeah, but you personally just don't like them.
Yeah, well,
was
like
supposed
I think most people shouldn't like him.
Well, I mean, I think it's a big argument to have, though. Like, that's saying that, do you or do you not like Kevin Spacey movies? I think Kevin Spacey's a phenomenal actor. He's one of the best actors of
Our
recent
time,
days,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think
Like
it's
American
he's a-
Beauty is a phenomenal masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Very dark, very dark
Well,
to begin
yeah.
with, but way darker knowing what we
Now we
know
know.
now.
because the movie's plot is he wants like the fucking underage girl. Is like
Yes.
the daughter's friend. Yeah, exactly.
She's not underage, she's 17. Have you checked the laws?
Stop.
You know the age
I mean,
consent?
like, listen, I don't think he was acting. I think he was just being himself.
It's like, I'll pretend that has a penis.
I'll pretend
But
you're
yeah,
a 14-year-old boy.
That's the thing, too, is that, see, as a person, I don't like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't want him to work again.
But
He's making like a direct-to-DVD murder movie now. Or he's like a
that
cop or
is also the thing, too, though, is that occasionally Kevin Spacey will pop up and shit. Like, he was in Baby Driver.
That was
And
that was his
I
last
forget-
movie.
that was right before the allegations came out.
They almost
Baby
replaced
Driver
him.
was what, 2017?
Yeah,
Because the allegations were before. They were in high school. I remember that.
Yeah, they broke.
Um,
there was like the
It was like
major.
at the end of our high school,
Yeah,
I thought.
I was like keeping up with it because I really liked Baby
Look at- yeah,
Driver.
look-
Yeah,
look-
let's look it up because
I'm
like
curious.
because there were allegations before, like kind of like Cosby, but then in like 2017 it got really
Yeah, Baby
like,
Driver was 2017.
yeah, it got really
Okay.
big in
Yeah, check
2017.
when the allegations are.
Also, Ezra Miller has okay. So they can't
Is he still
find the
real?
mom and daughter they that were staying with him. Like they've gone missing. He also has like I forget what he does. I think he's like he's wanted in Vermont for felony burglary.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's breaking into someone's home and stealing. That's a felony. He has announced he is. They are checking into
October 2017 was the first one.
Was that for-
Anyway, so they have announced that they are checking to get mental health services. I think as Warner Brothers called Ezra Miller, they're like, listen here, motherfucker. If we have to pull the Flash because you can't stop assaulting bartenders, we will make you pay us every cent
Yeah.
that we spend on you.
But they pulled Batgirl.
Yeah, they pulled Batgirl. I
Because
feel
everyone knew that was
Everyone
happening.
knew that.
I really like when they merged with Discovery. Like I think all the things I like are safe. Apparently, the Batgirl initial audience reactions were so poor. They were like, okay, we should the test audience. It was so bad.
Which, I mean, I can't imagine a movie being 100% bad. There's got to be something with the movie where they're like, all right, this is bad. Maybe the story doesn't make sense. Maybe they had too many or too few scenes. Maybe there's just someone on there who's just really bad. Maybe the main character is just bad.
Yeah, maybe.
But you can do all of that. Back to Kevin Spacey, that's what they did after the allegations, is that I can't remember what the movie was, but they took him out of it and kept all the scenes that they shot with and around him, and replaced him with Christopher Plummer. I don't remember what the movie is, but he
Is it
won.
House of Cards?
No.
Oh, that's a TV show.
No, House of Cards.
They just killed him off.
Yeah. And
Oh
then
yeah. Then they made his wife the main.
And then they
villain.
lost a bunch of money because everyone's like, "Where's Kevin Spacey?"
They ordered him to pay $31 million. I think.
Did anyone see that fucking YouTube video that he put out?
Yeah.
God, that's horrifying.
Where he's
It's like the
you
Christmas
know
one, right?
You know you miss me. It's like, what the fuck?
It's so weird.
Because he's pretending to be his character.
It's the
from House of-
scariest fucking thing.
Horrifying.
It's like,
Because
Jesus.
some of the shit that came out about him, I don't go into it. It's none of my business. I don't fucking care. Some of the shit that they brought out against him was fucked up. The most that I've heard is he was banned from Epstein Island because he would be too rough.
Yeah.
Oh god damn
Which
it.
is scary.
I don't know the kind of it's fucked up, but it's the story's funny.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate that one
No,
is,
that
but that
sounds accurate.
what's
Yeah.
out there.
Some of the stuff,
yeah.
I will say, some of the stuff I'm always kind of on the fence about because nothing. If it doesn't go anywhere, then I don't do it. The current allegation that he has, and he's going to court, I think soon, or at least he just got it, was from a very I can't remember what the actor's name is. Some
Brendan
kid.
No wait, no.
Not Brendan Fraser. He's a younger guy than that. Older now. He would have been 15 in.
Most of them were
That was the
early
age group he
2000s.
targeted.
Yeah, and it was a lot of anonymous people, but not a single one of the anonymous people ever came forward. And they put it as this is a non-substantiated, you cannot argue this. So it always does put me on the fence for those kind of things of I feel like I should say that this dude is bad, but I also kind of feel we should wait. But what should we do while waiting? You see what I mean? Because if they keep putting in things, everyone's going to forget. And then if it were something, then they're going to be back on Kevin Spacey's side. But if you don't put him in anything and let's say he didn't do anything, that's unfair.
They should punish him by making him do low budget films, low budget film student films, with a guy with a gun, a guy with a gun behind him, so you gropes him, he gets shot in the back of the head.
Oh god.
Yeah, Sharknado. Yeah, there was one of the allegations was a 17-year-old catering assistant. So Kevin Spacey broke glass, had to go to the hospital, and the kid was driving while Kevin Spacey had hand was broken. He was groping the kid's dick, and the kid was texting his girlfriend the whole time "LOL, babe, Kevin Spacey just grabbed my cock," and she was like, "What the fuck?" And they put those. I think those texts came up in court. I think, yeah.
But going back to the idea of canceling and burying the things that these people do, it makes no sense to me because there's a lot of people in history who probably did a lot of fucked up shit that we just don't know about, and that doesn't make the
He probably was.
Probably was. That doesn't mean that his work shouldn't still be analyzed critically. It still has a lot of merit to be had for young developing readers because it does a lot for satirical and analytical thinking. But Kubrick or Hitchcock, both of which are very controversial directors now, are hailed as some of the best because they were dickheads. And it's not to downplay the fact that they were abusive assholes, but their movies are fucking good.
But I think it's. I don't think it's good to like bury their work, but I think it's good to like.
The only work that I'm okay with burying of Kubrick's is Eyes Wide Shut. Because it needs to be buried. Because that movie sucks absolute nards.
I just want to say, I think it's good. Like, I think we should like call this behavior admonish to prevent like the future behavior like that. Like, okay, this is not okay. No matter how good of a fucking director you are, you should still be like like vilified for your shitty actions if they're shitty. Like, you'll never find us a shitty podcast. We'll all get canceled for our based opinions.
Too based.
Too based.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other examples of people who are like canceled but shouldn't. Like, I think Bill Burr in his most recent comedy sketch was talking about how Coco Chanel was like heavily involved with the Nazi Party.
Oh yeah.
And like no one talks about it, but they all talk about how Hugo Boss like made the uniforms. It's like, well, those two are entrepreneurs. Like, even if they did sympathize, it's years now and they haven't done anything since. Like, why do we still keep talking about this? Like, why don't we keep talking about the fact that the guy who did The Pianist fucked a 14-year-old?
Drugged and raped a 14-year-old.
Yeah, like.
But Roman Polanski, ever since he did that was what, like, the end of the 70s, he still releases films that a lot of people go to and are very critically
and the
acclaimed.
French are fucking sheltering him because he's like a cultural.
Well, he's French.
Yeah,
it's illegal in most countries to extradite someone with your own citizenship. So he does have Polish and French citizenship. They can't actually. So that's why in the early 2000s,
he can't be tried for something that happened. Well, he probably could.
There's no statute of limitations on it. There have been problems. Like he walked into Switzerland for something once, and they arrested him when he did that, and then decided like, you know what, whatever, and then let him go. But yeah, they just said fuck it, just go back to France, do whatever. So he just pops back and forth between France and Poland because he can't go anywhere else. But yeah, but he keeps making works.
Yeah, like The Pianist is one of the greater movies that have come out recently, but I mean, it wasn't recent. It was like 2012.
Yeah, it was something like that.
When I've never actually seen The Pianist.
Neither have I.
Very big.
But I've only heard, I've heard that it's amazing. But also Roman Polanski, the fuck.
He's a rapist.
He is.
And his wife that got
2002.
murdered, she wasn't old, if I remember correctly. She was significantly younger than he was. The actress.
I'm trying to remember Sharon Tate.
Sharon Tate, yeah.
Probably. Honestly, I don't even know how old he is now.
Wait, no, because didn't Sharon Tate drown or something?
No, he got stabbed by the Manson family.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, I was thinking of the guy that... Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild ride.
Oh, there was only a 10-year difference. He was born in 33, she was born in 43.
I don't get.
She was like mid-20s.
Maybe because I'm like a 40-year-old man. I don't get the urge to like date a woman half your age.
Yeah, because it's illegal right now, dude.
Yeah, no, but
when she becomes legal.
But like when I'm like 50, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, 25-year-old. I hope not. It's fucking weird.
It's never a date thing. It's always a power thing of like, I can just control this person.
Yeah,
this person has no ability to resist me.
Like those guys in college who date people in high school.
That's also weird as
That's
fuck.
fucking
that
weird.
one is weird. Yeah,
I remember being in high school, like sophomore year, like 10th grade, and like the girls, like the kind of the cooler group of girls would brag about like having like college guys they talk to.
Yeah,
and then at the time I didn't really think anything of it, but like the moment I stepped into college, like after I got used to being an adult, I was like, yeah, no, you should not have been bragging. Those guys were like the losers of their college. And just weird in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, they suck.
Okay.
They do.
They do suck. But it is weird. It is odd.
There are always unique situations, but in general, I think it should be frowned upon.
Yeah, I think so. Well, if you're like, okay, like if you're like a freshman in college, and you date a girl that's like a junior or a senior in high school, that could even be that could be like a 1 year or 18 months age difference. It's not that weird. But if you're like a fucking like junior in high school, and you start dating like a college sophomore. I mean, I'm sorry. So if you're a junior in college and you start dating like a high school sophomore, weird.
It's also illegal.
very illegal.
At that
even,
point.
even then, even like that small age difference, if you knew the person before and they go, that's fine. To me, I think. But I think like someone who's in college, let's say you didn't know this, let's say guy before he went to college,
Yeah.
and then he's in college and he's going after a high schooler. They're in two completely different mental states. And it's
Exactly.
not disconnected from the location because he
You can
only knew
tell.
her while she was in high school and she only knew him while he was in college.
Yeah.
So,
We'll
it's
say that
flawed.
it's not. There are cases where it's not 100% the guy's fault because there are girls who will go to colleges specifically to go like find guys and will lie about their age.
That's happened so many times.
Like my sister tried to go to a college party one time, and I was like, "If you do this, I will shut that party down. I will shut it down and drag you out of that
you
goddamn
will call the
party."
police and get.
Like, you don't understand what goes on at these parties, and you have no business being here. I will publicly shame you if you try to do this. She was not happy.
Well,
Didn't go to the party.
you did the right thing. It's like I was like in Martin freshman year, and one Wednesday fest, like this group of girls came in. And we were like, wait a second. Like, so they were there probably for about 15 minutes, like talking to people and trying to like just like the parents went straight for the alcohol immediately and like talking to some football players. And the football guys were like in corners, like, I don't want to talk to you because they look super young. And so then like the guy who was in charge of the dorm at the time, like a fucking Giga Chad, just walks up, grabs a girl's purse, opens her wallet, and sees she's like 16. She's like, get the fuck out, get the fuck out.
Nice.
No, it's not.
No, you have to
acceptable.
do it. You have to do it because it's like if you're trying to like like that's super inappropriate, and we don't want to go to prison. Like yeah.
Most guys don't want to be creeps. Like, that's why I told my sister, I was like, I will get up in front of the entire party, and they will all stop, and they will all assist me in getting you the fuck out, because no one wants you there.
I do think most guys do not want to be creeps. Like
Absolutely.
I agree with that because most of the guys I know don't want to be creeps. But however, the few guys that are creepy really make it bad for the rest of us, I think.
And are unapologetic about
Yeah,
it.
there's some unapologetically creepy motherfuckers. It's like, I don't know whether it's lack of social skills or like the enjoyment of making other people uncomfortable.
And it's not even like an attractiveness thing. Like, there are attractive guys that are just pieces of shit.
Oh, totally,
And then
yeah.
there are ugly guys that are just pieces of shit. It's just people. in
I
general.
know, I'm one of them.
Yeah,
No,
no. You, for some reason, have so much social tact. I genuinely don't understand it.
It's because it's like it doesn't
Please.
come naturally. It's like it had to, because of my autism. Like it's pretty much something I had to learn, like a science. Like I had to fine tune it. Because honestly, when I was in high school, my social skills weren't that good. I'd make, I have some really painful memories of making like girls uncomfortable by accident when I was trying to flirt. But so I hold on to those, then I use them like I kind of like every interaction I have, I kind of like keep and file away in like a frame of reference. Like, oh, you're distracting me.
Sorry.
I keep every interaction like a frame of reference I can use to like not make the same mistakes again. And so it's pretty much just like trial and error for 4 years straight. And then like I think around like sophomore year of college, I had socializing figured out, like for the most part.
If you're anything like me and Zach, it also makes you extremely aware of social ineptitude. Like, me and
Yes.
Zach will get super cringed out when someone does something that they're not supposed to do. Say if one of our friends is talking to a girl and that girl is giving off major vibes that they don't want to talk to this
think we
person
all know
about
the
his
person.
specific interests. And we're just like, for the love of God, friend, stop talking about your specific interest because no one wants to talk about it. We keep telling you we don't want you to talk about it.
her face.
friend, oh god! Like whenever I have a friend do that, I feel the same way. It's like also where I'm getting pissed because I'm getting so uncomfortable because I can feel the girl's uncomfortableness transferring onto me.
If you notice, that's why I become kind of a dick.
Yeah.
When I get uncomfortable, I'll just call people out on it.
Yes.
'Cause I'm like, if I make you stop, everyone's gonna be happy. And usually people find my assholery funny unless they're the target of it.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna benefit from
Like
this.
I hate the fact I have to make some people stop with like a sense of social tact because I don't want to. I want it to stop quickly, but I'm like, if I get mad, it'll fuck up the vibe because I'm like the host. And it's like people will try to accommodate me, and I don't want that. So I have to like say things in the most roundabout way possible. Like, hey man, let her answer the question. I think she was saying something. But when I have to say that multiple,
Hey, buddy!
Bro,
buddy,
Maybe you find it in your wheelhouse to let her answer the fucking question.
maybe you let the fucking dame finish the fucking sentence, eh?
Oh, so many accents
Hey.
in one.
I had a stroke.
Oh yeah.
Maybe let the girl finish the sentence, right?
The girl's got to finish the sentence.
Let the bitch
Yeah, she
talk.
gonna finish the sentence.
Everyone knows the Irish accent is the most strong.
Yeah, we
It
still.
is?
Yeah. I love
really
the
is.
Irish accent. It's fucking cool. I want to get one.
The Irish accent's okay, dude. I spent too much time in China around people from Northern Ireland that a couple of the exchange students that we just met, one of them said something like, "I'm Irish," and was like, "Yeah, where are you from?" I was like, "Northern Ireland." Yeah, that's what I thought.
Avoid the Northern Irish slander. We were watching Pulp Fiction the other day, me and some foreign kids. It was cool.
Foreign kids.
Yeah, students.
These
anyway.
people are like 24.
Our age. Like most of them
Yeah,
are, yeah,
some of them
older.
are older than Dave.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And there was one scene where John Travolta goes to his heroin dealer's house, and there's a girl, Trudy, who's there with an Irish accent, and immediately one of the guys goes, "Wait, that's a North Irish accent. It's from Derry." I'm like, "What?" And so after the movie, we looked at the actress, and she was from Derry, Northern Ireland. Like,
Dude,
like the accent down to the neighborhood is fucking insane.
It's insane. The British Isles are really big on their accents. Jafar was my Nigerian roommate. He was always telling me that like you could tell which school someone went to by their specific accent because he was from Devon, which is outside of Plymouth, which is in southwest England, I believe, and is like, man, if someone is from this side of Devon or this side of Devon or the same side of Devon but went to this school, different accents, and they could like they could go up all the way to Scotland and then say something and they'd be like, "Oh, you're from Devon, aren't you?" A town with maybe 4,000 people in it. It's so weird.
I kind of wish I had an accent, but I work so hard to repress it.
According to the foreigners, we do.
Yeah, we do have. I think I have I consider myself to have the American neutral accent, but whenever I get high or drunk, my Arkansas accent does come out.
It is fun to play up the southern accent.
I
of
just
the foreigners.
relax.
They really don't know how to deal with it.
They do like it.
If I just relax
They
my
do.
throat, I think I have to tighten my throat to speak like this. But if I relax my throat, it feels like liberated.
I have to loosen my throat to speak like a normal American. You see, I went through vocal classes when I was a child because I had a stupid Chicago accent, and they said, we're not allowing that in our schools.
Really?
So, yeah. No, it was actually, I couldn't pronounce my R's, and so, I know.
Like a little retard.
Like a little retard.
Retarded.
No, because they were just really weak, so I'd say like, I'm trying to think of something. Just kind of like, and they said, we can't have that.
Mr. Speak
I didn't speak like this.
Yeah.
No, it was like that, and they said, we got to give him this, and they said, well,
Wow.
while we're at it, let's make you speak like a normal American.
I
So I can do this for days.
I couldn't say my th sound really correctly, or my no, it was just my th. My r was good, so I was like a little kid with a southern accent. But I'd say the, not the.
Fuh.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, like birthday. But like in the English accent, like they say f's. They don't say like I fault.
Apparently, that's actually one of the symptoms of Asperger's autism. Like, slight learning impairments, like a speech impediment, or I couldn't read until I was in 3rd grade.
I got started reading early, but yeah, definitely. I think I'm pretty sure I have like that one like disorder where you just can't learn math.
Because
Because
it's like a form of dyslexia.
yeah, I genuinely tried, and I actually full ass did this. Like, I had a good professor, went to his office hours, did all the homework, but I could not retain anything I learned. Like The most I can do is algebra. Like anything up to algebra, I can pretty much do. But when you start getting when I have to think about mathematical concepts in my head, they just don't appear to me what happens when I read.
Yeah, that's I feel like more common than people think. In college, we realized you don't really start learning math until you go to calculus. Everything else is arithmetic.
Yeah.
Geometry and algebra are stuff that you can use in your everyday life for simple equations. They overcomplicate it in schools for obvious reasons because you need to overcomplicate it so that they know for every extenuated circumstance. But real math is calculus and forwards. And calculus is even the groundwork. It's the bitch shit.
Yeah, calculus is the starting math class in college. Yeah. I took the easiest math class and almost failed, boys. Mm-hmm. The FBI saved my ass. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Have I not told you guys the story?
This sounds familiar.
No, it's not hyperbole. No, so my math professor, I'm not going to say.
Oh, yes.
He was arrested. I don't want to mention his name, but because I don't know, we have no viewers, but
he was acquitted.
He was fully acquitted by the FBI. He never saw trial. He was arrested by the FBI, and I got an automatic B.
Nice.
Automatic B? Fuck you.
I know, right? What the fuck? Not even a 60% or a minimum pass.
Dude, that's pretty.
Imagine if you had an A in the class. Fuck.
No. I think they only raised people out. They didn't drop anyone down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was.
So they just kind of capped you.
They were just they were okay, we're not gonna have anyone fail this math class this year. It was also the easiest math class. I think admin realized, okay, these idiots are just doing this for the credit. They're not going to be any profession involving math. This will not set their education back if we just pass them and get them out.
I actually, I learned this today. I actually work with a guy from Hendrix. He was in your year. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh shit! Maybe after, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I don't work with him. He works in a different department than me, but he's my underclassman and my underworker. What would you call that?
Apprentice?
Junior?
Junior.
Yeah, because I've been in the company longer. I'm in a higher department.
Maybe a junior. Who is it? I don't know. Do I?
No, I believe he started after you left.
Then I don't know it.
Swell guy. Very, very polite. Does his work well. He's already working on the Elementars. He's only been there 3 weeks.
I'm taking a fiction writing class this year because I want to improve my writing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why it's trash.
I have Dr. so-and-so to do that for me.
You probably,
I'm only taking 2 classes, so I think I'll be able to really put a lot of effort into this. Because
writing classes are super fun.
I feel like whenever I feel like I'm a smart guy, but I can't translate my thoughts onto paper, and I want to learn how to do that better.
If you ever do prompt writing, and you get the ability to do whatever you want, try and do something that's outside of your comfort zone.
I see.
That's the most fun. I love fantasy shit, right?
Yeah.
My favorite story that I wrote for my fiction writing class was about a priest in Midwest America dealing cocaine. And that's completely outside of where I would write a story usually. It was phenomenally fun. And it was actually a pretty good story, if I do say so myself. But, the classes challenge you to think in different ways, and especially in the peer review stuff, it's really, really fun because you get to look at other people's writing and how they do it. And even if they're bad, per se, there's still stuff that you can take away, this is what they're doing, this is how they're thinking.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm finally gonna write down those big stories I've had in my head for a while. Then just improve it over time. It's because me, I've had the same continuous fantasy universe in my head since I was 15.
I don't think the mic's gonna catch you if you drop that low.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Sorry, I'm just got really deep into thought for a second. Yeah,
viewers who aren't watching, tell us if you can hear us.
We have one. We've had 2 viewers.
Oh, really? I thought you said we had none.
No. We have. Yeah. No, it's so I have this fantasy universe in my head, and I'm always updating it. Or when I mature out of an idea or a theme that I think is stupid, I change it.
Mm.
And a lot of people who love stories do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that.
Me and Zach have similar situations.
It's definitely how I spend most of my time when I'm driving or zoning out. I'll just think about that.
It's a form of escapism.
Yeah.
Mm. And satisfying to build upon something you already have.
Oh, totally.
A lot
I think it's getting pretty good now. I just want to put it down on paper.
It is awkward when you get to the point when you're like, you go back to an idea that you kept. Like, if you have like multiple stories going, you go back to a concept and you're like, oh, that's not as cool as I thought it was.
Yeah,
that's cringy as fuck. I'm glad I didn't write that.
But luckily, you never told anyone about it, so you can keep the cringe to yourself. Yeah.
No, I've always only had good ideas.
I'm really sad because one time I told my this happened in high school. I was telling my best friend about this fantasy like story idea I had in my head, and he said just like tell me about it. Like I was like okay sure. So I just like unloaded, basically, for like
Too long.
no not like probably like 5 minutes. He goes dude blink. I'm like fucking hell. When I'm really into something I'm passionate.
Dude, fucking blink.
Are you okay?
Fucking blink.
That's funny.
That is very funny.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed. Hopefully I didn't unplug anything there.
Oh yeah.
That's the only way I can get through.
Yeah.
I ain't squatting.
I genuinely regret not taking more writing classes when I was in college. Like, I didn't get to take any writing classes until my last year because I got all of my degree requirements out of the way junior year. By senior year, I only had electives and my capstone.
Yeah, of course.
So, I took like acting. I took fantasy fiction writing. I took the foreign language requirements.
Oh, there's a class called fantasy fiction writing.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how I feel about my fiction writing class. It's just fiction, not fantasy fiction.
I think it might have been fiction writing.
Okay, well, like if yeah,
Who's it with? Do you know, is it a male
professor? Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, that guy's really good.
okay. Cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about him.
No, he's really good. He's very open. He will give you brutal criticism.
Oh,
but like not in a. Even the people who you could tell that he was like, I don't necessarily like you per se, because you know every professor has those. He would give them critical responses that were very to the point and very constructive in a way that he wanted your writing to be better.
Yeah,
he's very, very good. I would recommend him to anyone.
I'm just gonna my plan to be successful in this class is I'm just gonna put like a lot of effort into it, like really,
Absolutely.
yeah, just do like work my ass off.
And ask him questions if you really feel like it, because he writes in a specific way, but he recognizes that there are other voices to have, and he'll direct you in ways of like, did you ask this question? Because what he taught me at least is that a lot of writing is asking questions. Like, you don't have to answer them yourself, but you have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a character that has a motivation, it's like, why did they have that motivation? It's like, well, they had this X backstory. It's like, well, why'd you pick that one? Because this one's okay, but could it be better? Could it be more nuanced? Like, is your character one-dimensional because he's not important, or is he one-dimensional because you're not putting enough attention to it?
Oh, that's fucking sweet.
Like, that's something that I think about a lot, because, you know, I talk about it a lot, but I read a lot of just trash media that really means nothing in the broader sense of, like, literature, but I consume a lot of content just voraciously, and because of that, I've gotten to a point where I can recognize certain story flows, where I can predict certain story aspects, and it is kind of boring in a sense, but it makes me see good storytelling a lot better because I know that they're doing it with a purpose.
Yes.
Indeed. Zach was pissing. He has no idea what we're talking about.
I think I'm gonna write. I think
I have an idea.
I'm gonna jot down one of the stories and yeah, because I feel like I've developed these characters in my head for years. So I'm like this backstory's dumb.
Yeah.
This one's better.
I get that.
That's the way I've found it, is to build like like you're making a D&D character.
Yeah.
Write like a 10-page backstory.
Yeah.
Or write a 5-page backstory, or write a paragraph, and then just keep building on it. Because, like, I don't know if you knew this about the character for Zach's campaign, Free. It's got like 15 pages of backstory. Because I started with like a page, then I was like, hey, Zach, can I just riff off of this? Like, you don't have anything planned for this part of the world. Can I just, add shit? He's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. So I just kept adding shit, and of course I'm not pertinent to the campaign yet, so none of it's canon.
Yes,
But-
so none of you are real historical characters yet. You will soon be.
If we can get people to actually show the fuck up for a game, God, did
That would be
you
nice.
ever feel like
important to the actual plot, so we're going to play it regardless. I guess we're just gonna have to get new people. That's okay.
I think I might have a friend that'd be interested in doing D&D. Let me see.
Okay.
It'd be like next week.
For what? For which one?
Maybe yours. Like it's like a one-off.
Oh, yeah, sure. Might be 1 off, 2 off.
2 off. That's
Maybe.
it.
Did you say 4?
4 off.
4 if... Because the plan is to make it 4... Either 4 days or 4 time periods. I haven't decided yet.
Mhm.
4 time periods would be cool.
Yeah, so it'll be like... You will be given something, let's say, the evening of day 1, and then the next session... Because it'll be that in its entirety. And then it'll be the next time you guys do something will be the part of day 2. So like morning of day 2, and then maybe have another one for that. Or if you guys are progressing, we'll see.
Cool.
That just matters on time.
Yeah, so
We'll
pretty much like,
discuss this later.
yes, later. I mean, I have a friend that wants to get into D&D. I can send her some, like... I want to, like, basically introduce her to how to make a character and stuff. And if she's more interested in, like, the role-playing aspect than playing the game, so I think it'd be a good fit
Nice.
for you.
That's all I need.
do better at the character creation than last time, because the last 2 people have known nothing about character creation.
Well, this time I don't have to rush, because it's like I always fuck up.
yeah, that's
so
right. They don't show up like 20 minutes before, and you're like,
like, yeah, I will definitely just have, like, I'll sit down with my friend, and she and I will just, like, go through the PhD and all the supplementary materials, then, like, really get to know how things work and how, like, yeah, how to make a
she wants
dice.
to be part of it. I can discuss Zach. Period. That's the end of that sentence. She needs to know how Zach works. Because
Yeah.
Zach will work as Zach works.
Yeah, I'll let you know if she's, like, actually interested, because, like, yeah, it might not be her cup of tea, but I really, really, really think it is.
Yeah, Zach D&D is different. Everybody has their own unique voice and storytelling ability.
True.
I consider my D&D, because I like to run it with, like, the 3 pillars kind of idea. So there are 3 things that make D&D fun. For me, ow, fuck, ow, I'm having, like, a really weird cramp. Ow, fuck, hold on, ow.
Stand up.
Yeah, it's not in my butt. It's like in my tank. I'm having, like, a tank cramp specifically.
Oh, dude, I've had a
I
tank
just have a
cramp,
hernia.
Do a deep squat.
Shits himself. Just falls out. His taint just drops.
Oh, God. Let's not talk about the nerd shit. Let's get inflammatory. I changed my mind.
I want to talk about nerf.
Okay. My mom says hi. Hi, Mom. Love you.
Hello, mother.
But you're talking about the 3 pillars?
Yeah, no, it's like the thing. It's like, D&D shit. Exploration, roleplay, and combat. That's either the most fun when I play. And run games.
Yeah, I feel like that's... We definitely have different likes in D&D, which is fine. Like, everybody has their own style of playing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I feel like me and you are very, very different.
I like the power fantasy.
I hate the power fantasy.
I want to kill things because I, like, you get out of my system.
Zach actually got me out of the power fantasy. He never built power characters, and I always realized that his characters were much more interesting. I do like power concepts in stories. I feel like there should be you should be able to see where the story will eventually end if that's the type of story that you're doing. Just to give an example, like if you have you can't have Harry Potter without the scene where Dumbledore is fighting Voldemort, because you don't know how powerful Voldemort is, because you're like, he's just a random dude, because everyone else you've seen has been doing weird shit like summoning flashlights and shit. And then Dumbledore walks in and starts throwing fireballs everywhere and blowing shit up. Like, you gotta see where the end game is to have a perspective of, like, where everyone's at.
Yeah.
I feel. Zach doesn't know anything about...
I hate Harry Potter.
Doesn't... Wait, hold on here. I don't...
It's Harry's brother, Voldemort.
Hey, no, Voldemort is not Harry's brother. I don't remember Harry's brother's name, though. But, doesn't the blonde kid get Dumbledore?
Draco does kill Dumbledore.
No, Snape kills Dumbledore.
Using Draco's wand, right?
Yes.
Draco was supposed to kill Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And then...
What does he fight Voldemort then?
Dumbledore 1v1's Voldemort.
In book 5.
Yeah, but in the end of book 5.
At the end of book 6, Dumbledore gets killed.
Yeah, Dumbledore only fights him once directly the entire series.
Everything after the fourth is just...
Yeah, so
You don't know until the 4th!
I had the fourth movie on DVD, which I do know the fourth movie.
The fourth movie's actually pretty good.
I had Lego sets of the first
the 3rd
three
is probably
films.
the best, but yeah, 4 is definitely a good...
God, like... What was I going to
It
say?
had a cute French girl, and it had a cute Bulgarian
Claire
guy.
Delacour.
Yeah. And Victor Crumb, I remember that.
I saw this meme. It's like J.K. Rowling desperately resisting the urge to name another Irish character Potato Famine Car Bomb. Because like the one Irish character she has is Seamus Finnegan. It's like the John Smith of possible Irish names.
Yeah.
And Cho Chang.
Apparently a lot of Asians like that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I feel like I'm actually being represented. That's a name that people would be named.
That is a traditional Chinese name. Cho Chang.
Cho Chang.
Just kidding.
I know.
That means ugly and long.
Yes, it literally does.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can use different characters, but when I think of Cho Chang, I think of like ugly long or smelly and long.
J.K. also like Hermione. So her part of her character development throughout the books is like she's like a passionate advocate for egalitarianism, which includes like other races like house elves, and her wanting to like free the house elves and have them like be equal standing in wizard society is viewed as a joke by everyone, including Harry and Ron. So it's like they essentially have a slave race.
Yeah.
And they're like, ha, look at this silly girl. She wants to free the slaves.
You get it.
Yeah. Or like segregated people, because house elves are second class citizens.
Yeah, the more you dive into it, it's really not a great series, but on the surface level, it's great.
Yeah, it's good for children, because Harry's a fucking neoliberal that doesn't like change or learn anything. Like they attack zero of the underlying systematic issues which caused Voldemort and his ideology to get really popular and become a problem.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with his ideology.
Wizard supremacy, like kill all muggles.
Not kill, but definitely enslave.
Yeah, so
actually,
if,
let me fact check.
if
I wanna see
some
what
people could
Voldemort-
just shoot fireballs and cast Cloud Kill, and some people can't, who's going to win in the end? The people
For
who
some
can or
reason, it's a
can't cast Cloud
racially
Kill.
for some reason it's a racially inherited trait, except for some people like Filch. For some reason, both parents wizards could not cast magic.
He's a squib, yeah. Okay, his
sucks.
okay, so
It's like the bus
Kill
driver from
myself.
Sky High.
yeah, but as Sky High went hard, he's like the dad.
Bring that up, Jesus.
You unlocked like a core
The fact you
memory.
can remember
Remember
that.
the guinea pig girl? Like the golf girl that her only power she was
Yeah,
the guinea pig? And then
The guy with the
they
glow in
use
the
it-
light.
Oh, and
They
and
put them-
they segregated students by their like power. So
Yeah,
if you had like a
it's
shitty
like
power, they would
your
just
sidekick.
Yeah! Oh my god! So wait, here's Voldemort's ideology. Okay, but as Lord Voldemort, his ideology is centered around the superiority of pureblood wizards and his desire to rid the world of muggle-born wizards and half-bloods like himself. Rowling has acknowledged that Adolf Hitler is similar to...
Wait. Desire to rid them of people like himself?
Yeah, so he's a half-blood, but he likes pureblood. It's like... So
What
good-
happened was his mother was a witch, and she fell in love with a very rich muggle. And she said, "Ooh boy, I want me some of that." And he said, "You go away, you're weird." So she made a love potion and said, "Ha, now you love me, bitch." And he said, "Yeah, I guess I love you." They made the coitus, they made the baby, But because he was conceived under a love potion, he was born a narcissist. He could not feel love. And the plot happened.
So he's a product of rape. Is
No,
essentially
yeah,
what
yeah,
this
so
is.
it's actually a good backstory. Like his mom raped
no,
his
That
dad.
is actually a
No, his
relatively
backstory
good
is fucking
backstory.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like his mother was from a very well-to-do house that was from the line of Salazar Slytherin, the big bad lich wizard that no one ever like. They never talk about those people. Those
No,
people are
he's a
fucking
lich.
boss.
You know nothing. You
He's a
know,
lich,
You know more about the Ravenclaw bitch than you do about the Gryffindor guy.
You know, Godric had a sword, but like, why would a wizard need a sword?
I know. What was he?
And it wasn't like it was just like a sword.
It's just a sword.
Yeah.
It appears anywhere if someone has pure heart and needs it.
Like, oh, that's a still
Yes,
cast fireball.
Seriously, if you are of the Gryffindor house and you are in a time of trouble and you have a pure heart, the sword will magically appear in front of you. Every other house, get fucked.
Yeah, it's like imagine you're like a good pure heart guy, but a Slytherin's trying to beat you up, so you get a fucking sword. Because a sword doesn't go away if you're about to do something shitty.
It's also like it's basically like the Vorpal blade.
Yeah.
like it's like a +5 long sword that cannot be broken.
No, Harry Potter peaked when he was 12. He killed a fucking
I do know
CR10
that.
monster.
I do know they get a lot of XP.
Yeah, so this is where Voldemort comes from. He was super rich. His mother ends up killing herself because I think his father, like, she's like, maybe he loves me now. He breaks out of it, remembers everything he's done for like the past 12 fucking years. He's like, you fucking whore! But that's his son, so he like begrudgingly takes care of him, kind of, but also like sends him away. But he comes from this lineage of like these super powerful dark wizards that can like talk to snakes and shit. Goes to Hogwarts, finds out that he's super talented because he's from this lineage, finds all these dark secrets at Hogwarts, and he's like, oh shit, this is really cool. Why isn't everyone like this? Oh wait, it's because muggles. It's because we have sympathy, because we have love. Love's gay. What do I have to do to live as long as possible and not die? I have to break my soul apart? Wait, you couldn't do that because it requires
Killing someone?
killing someone and most people have empathy? Fuck that shit. I'm gonna do it 7 times.
Oh yeah, so one more detail I had, like, so Voldemort's family. So
You have to kill someone like of importance to you. Like the first one, it was his father, I think.
oh yeah, he killed. So like someone had like his family used to be really well to do. They were, by the time he was born, they were completely destitute, like for generations. They're like weird, like inbred redneck people. And like I think in the 5th book, you get like a flashback.
Because I think you dive into the locket, which is
Yeah.
like his mother or father's locket.
Yeah, you see the flashback at the beginning of one of the books, and it's given context later. I think it actually might be the 4th one. And then the Horcruxes come about. Yeah, so just like, remember he kills a person.
Of significance to him, like when he kills the girl for the book, he kills Moaning Myrtle. He kills her because she's a Muggleborn. She's a mudblood. He kills her and he's like, fuck yeah, I have such a fucking murder boner.
Yeah. It has to be significant. So for Horcruxes, they don't necessarily have to be significant to you for it to work, but it works way better if it is. So it's like, every time you do something cool, you make a Horcrux.
I guess that's why he didn't realize that Harry was one.
Yeah, he thought he only had 6.
Yeah.
He was, I have 6. Then like Harry was the 7th, and it's like,
But he didn't kill him, did he?
He killed his mother and father and was rebounded against, and it became significant to him because that's the kid he killed.
Then why do you only get one for like a double kill?
no, because
That's not fair.
It was an act like a horrible act.
Because you see,
I see,
Harry was the baby prophesized to like be his undoing.
I
So
think
this
he also might have been in the process of making another one.
maybe
Because, like, J.K. Rowling has gone on to say, like, the process is extensive. It's also, like, horrible.
yeah,
Like, basically,
like it fucks the way you look.
it's basically creating a lich phylactery.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
The
yeah.
amount of unspeakable deeds you have to accomplish are irreconcilable by most standards. So I think he was, like, in the process of making one, and, like, he didn't realize that he finished the spell because he fucking got
Yeah, so,
murdered.
here's how the spell rebounded, by the way. We probably didn't talk about this. It rebounded back to Voldemort because of the power of love. Because Harry's mom loved him so much that her
Specifically, she cast a spell in old magic that no one knew about, and for some reason, Lily Potter, this mundane-ass witch, knew about it
Muggleborn.
for unknown reasons.
Yeah, so, wait, when did they mention that? I thought it was
It's
just
in the
power.
first book.
What?
Yeah, he's like, It says something about like old magic that like Dumbledore speaks about it as in ways of like old magic stuff that he couldn't have thought, or maybe it's Voldemort in like the 4th book when he comes back. He's talking about like the old magic that kept him from touching Harry, but now that he's of Harry's blood, he can touch Harry now. It's weird. It's like specifically like Eldritch magic.
Okay, wait. I forgot how layered the magic system was. Okay.
What? There was no magic system.
No, because Harry survived the second killing curse because Voldemort took his blood, and his blood contained Lily's sacrificial protection as some of it lived on. And Voldemort, Harry was tethered to life. He essentially had like a light Horcrux instead of a dark Horcrux.
Yeah, but the second killing curse killed the Horcrux inside of him.
Yes, exactly.
That's also why
yes, it burned up the Horcrux basically. You get like a 1-up when you get a Horcrux. But how did Harry survive when he was a baby? I gotta check out his old when he was a baby. I gotta see this because I did not. Okay, hold on. Here's the Harry Potter wiki. Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, no. So Lily Potter sacrificed her life in order to protect her infant son Harry from Lord Voldemort. This placed Harry under magical protection, so that when Voldemort cast a killing curse at Harry and turned, the spell backfired, leaving him unharmed, save for a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead and Voldemort bodiless. So like ripped his body out. Harry became the only known person to survive the killing curse because of the power of his mother's loving sacrifice. During the Battle of Hogwarts, Harry Potter...
yeah, every other family murdered by the killing curse, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
like, love your child.
I'm not saying anything about old magic on the Harry Potter wiki. It says...
It's specific lines that Voldemort and Dumbledore say.
Okay, hold on.
So why didn't like... Wait,
apparently as long as you choose to die willingly to protect someone else, they literally get like a god shield.
And another thing about Harry and Voldemort, one of the reasons that Harry could fight Voldemort was because the Horcrux inside of Harry was more present in his psyche than he thought. Like it was like telling him to do bad things. Basically, it's never confirmed in this, but one of the reasons why he has the wand that he has is because the Horcrux resonated with the wand because it had the twin Phoenix feather that the Phoenix had, the other twin being in Voldemort's wand.
Whoa.
So because they had basically the same wands, when they would cast spells at each other, if they connected in the laser beam shit, they would cancel each other out because they were basically doing the same fucking shit. And it depended on willpower. Expecto incantatum.
I hate Harry Potter.
So wait a second. So Voldemort disappears because he casts Abracadabra at the child, and then it bounces back. Why didn't his followers just like grab the kid's legs and smash him?
I know, right?
Because he went alone. All of his followers were like, "Don't fucking do this." The Order of the Phoenix is like watching this house. They're going to fucking murder us.
Dumbledore's gonna be like waiting
because he was on. I think he was he was retreating basically. Like they were on his heels, and he's like, "Nah, fuck this shit." And everyone's like, we didn't hear him say that. We're not gonna follow him." So he goes and he's like, "Yeah, fuck you." And Sirius Black is like on his way trying to get there, and he's like, "There ain't no bitches here. Fuck this baby." Dead. Sirius Black comes and he's like, "Oh my god, my oldest friend is dead. His wife is, oh sweet baby boy, I have to, oh no."
And then so Sirius drops off at Hagrid's, and then
Hagrid goes, "Huh?"
And Hagrid is like, "You bastard," and Sirius is like, no time to explain. You know, he really should have explained this because so here's the reason Sirius got blamed for Harry and for Harry's parents' death because he was Harry's dad's best friend. So they thought his parents made Sirius their secret keeper. If you have a secret keeper, it basically means people can't find out where you live. Like it's like a fucking.
He was the only person who knew where they lived.
Yeah, but they switched it up. They thought Sirius is too obvious of a target. Peter Pettigrew instead, because Peter's like, bitch ass motherfucker, and no one will think we would trust him with this, but he's still our friend. Like, they're still a good friend. And Peter Pettigrew, being a bitch ass motherfucker, immediately told Voldemort,
Why can't they just look in the white pages?
nothing. And so,
What do you mean? It's the 90s.
And so then
Actually, it's probably the 80s at that point.
no, it is the 80s. He was
Okay.
born in the 80s.
Still, it's the 80s. Also, it is after the 1920s.
Yes.
Everyone has a phone.
No.
like
Wizards
an
live.
address.
They all live off the grid.
remember-
They live off the grid. They don't use phones. They don't have
You wouldn't
electricity.
know this because you didn't watch the movies, but like the fact that Ronald Weasley, like the Weasleys have a car, is unheard of. Like there are people in the universe of the Wizards who will like look at a car and be like, "The fuck is that?"
Yeah, it's kind of a theme J.K. Rowling had, but never really drilled home. Which
They're
would be more
ignorant
interesting.
fuckers. They're like backwoods, like don't know anything but magic. Like
They're just hobos. They're just hillbillies. Like
they dress in weird rags. Like they will like sew gloves into their clothes because like, what the fuck is a glove?
they're actually retarded. There was one point where like Arthur Weasley got injured, and then he's like, "Dude, let's try stitches." And this wizard doctor's like, "Hell yeah, we'll try him." And then everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Oh, stitches? Oh, what is that?" Because it's a magical wound that won't heal.
And fucking
wait.
Rowling, being a dumbass, decided to add it into her official lore on like Pottermore that before the invention of like toilets, what they would do is they would just shit their pants and magically disapparate the shit.
Yeah, we're just
They
like,
didn't
sorry,
invent
sorry.
toilets until Muggles did.
Yeah, no one
because they were
asked.
like, "That's a good idea,"
Yeah, so
because they had no need to.
oh yeah, so then sorry, Sirius had a motorcycle. No one ever mentioned how that was weird, but like metal.
Wait, how long were wizards around?
Thousands
Forever.
of years. And
Yeah,
so-
that's the thing.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
We had
fucking
toilets pretty early.
It's like a hidden world. They
So,
yeah, it's like
Salazar Slytherin hid the Basilisk under Hogwarts, under a bathroom,
yeah.
thousands of years ago.
exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about, Rowling?
And so then the thing is like she had like a cool theme like wizards are super arrogant and didn't pay attention to Muggle stuff.
Muslims.
But that
Can you imagine how much more entertaining Hogwarts would have been if fucking Harry got tired of being bullied by Draco and just brought a fucking gat?
I thought you were going to say he brought a Quran. I can't touch him.
I was thinking about this too. I was too like Harry Potter would be so like okay if you had a gun and Voldemort didn't know you were there. Just like imagine a 50 caliber rifle. You're like 2 miles away.
In fact, Dabber, this bitch.
You know, when your chest cavity's gone, you can't say like Helio. Blood over
Accio chest.
Accio lungs. Accio foreskin. No, wait, shit.
Someone else's foreskin.
Now you're the foreskin wizard.
No. My power has increased.
I told people about the foreskin wizards recently. It's still funny to me.
I mean, what if there's no magic, but foreskin wizards are actually correct?
If you don't bury your foreskin in the desert, dude, that's what the social elite is. They're not drinking adrenochrome, they're using foreskin.
That's why they're trying to promote Americans get foreskins.
Can we please get a viewer to edit this image for us? Because we taught us before, it's like, like the pyramid of like, know your masters. It's like, it's like CEOs, then Jews, then ladyboys, and then foreskin wizards.
Oh god.
Dude, they're real. Nelson Mandela was correct. They're real.
They'll steal your foreskin. That's black magic.
Shit, I want to.
But they can't dig up a hole for some reason.
Can you imagine how awkward it'd be if you dug up a hole and found another person's foreskin?
And you just like feel all of their power creeping into you, all of their
What if you just like shoot lightning the moment you touch it?
You touch it like some random guy somewhere's like, "Where are you, master?"
Like the skeleton army rises out of the sand. I would be collecting some foreskins if I could do that. I'm gonna
Come here, little boy. I'm getting a foreskin.
what was it?
I need it from my undead army.
My army.
Oh god, wait. Sorry, I want to finish this one point about Harry Potter. I'm not trying to circle back. So when Sirius finds Peter Pettigrew, the first thing Peter does is cut off his finger and blow himself up. And Sirius he kills like 11 Muggles. He does like an Allah Akbar. Just, I don't know what a spell there is that can do that. I guess he's good. Blow up, destroy. Anyway,
Why'd he cut off his finger?
because
To leave behind evidence.
it was the only piece of him that it's really fucking dumb. It was like the only piece of him they found. Instead of just lying,
And then he polymorphed himself into a rat for like 15 years.
yeah, and then he became a child's rat for 15 years.
Multiple children's
Yeah,
rats.
yes.
Why?
It was the only place he could hide. I guess he didn't think he could.
I think it said like he at some points he would like. No, it stated in the third book he forgot he wasn't a rat. He forgot he wasn't a rat, and then someone says Sirius Black around him. He goes,
Yeah, then he's like,
Oh fuck!
he's like, I was really enjoying
regain sentience.
so Sirius, instead of like immediately going to Dumbledore and explaining what happened, instead of going to any authority and be like, I was on a secret keeper, Peter did this, you can check my memories, because it's a thing in the Harry Potter universe. You can read someone's memories, really, like, and it's factually true. It's like their eyes were a camera. Instead of doing any of that, he just stands in the wreckage, laughing his ass.
Alter your memories though.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, but instead of even attempting to do anything to like
Discredit.
like to explain what happened, he stands in the crater, laughing his ass off like a fucking psychopath, and then is immediately arrested and sentenced to prison. Dumbledore never goes to visit him to figure out what the fuck happened. He just assumes Sirius was a traitor and he killed Peter Pettigrew.
Dumbledore's a piece of shit.
He doesn't even try. He it's like he get into the prison.
As far as he's concerned, problem over.
It's like, that boy could be a pretty good, like, anti-Voldemort weapon if he comes back. Keep an eye on him.
Even Dumbledore didn't think that Voldemort was going to come back.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He was like...
He just stopped caring.
Yeah, but then when Harry was there, and he's like, oh, wait, one of my professors has Voldemort on the back of his head.
You gotta remember, Dumbledore at that time had the fucking Elder Wand. He literally could not give less of a shit.
Dude, do you remember when Harry killed that man when he was 11 and had no lingering PTSD from it?
Yeah, he grabs Quill's face because Voldemort can't touch Harry because of the old magic. He touches Quill's face and he starts to turn to stone and crumble into sand, screaming and coming at him.
What the fuck?
So first Quill grabs him. So he grabs Harry's arm, hand falls off. Harry sees that this is the weakness and lunges at it. It's like, I love how...
Oh god.
Quill doesn't even try to like snipe him after that. He just keeps on lunging like a retard.
And he just like... and like crumbles into dust.
And then Voldemort's like... Ah.
And then Voldemort's ghost like comes down and is like, fuck you!
So his ghost was in like the back of his head?
Yeah, he possessed him. Like, because Voldemort doesn't have a body, but because the Horcruxes, he says like a soul.
Black magic.
Like a fetus soul.
So it was just a random dude?
Yeah, he was just a follower of fucking Voldemort for some reason. It's never explained why.
Yeah. He wore like a weird turban in the first movie.
That'll do it.
And then the
He's also
second...
really white.
And then the second movie...
Oh, no.
In the second movie, Dumbledore then lets Harry, go down into the basement and fight a fucking basilisk, essentially by himself.
Knowing that it's there.
In like the sixth book, he was like, yeah, I kind of knew that was there. I wanted you to build some character.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, students were dying.
Well, they were being petrified, but like the only reason someone didn't die was like sheer plot armor. It's like, oh yeah,
He looked at him through a mirror.
or through a ghost. He like a basilisk can petrify ghosts. So like,
Okay.
Nearly Headless Nick. Dude, Nearly Headless Nick had a fucking cool-ass backstory.
yeah,
He was like a knight who... I think he always dreamed of like joining the Headless Host, which was like a mythical thing that would like ride across the sky. And he was a thrill-seeking like battle enthusiast and went to war specifically to die an honorable death, but got cleaved except for one little inch of like skin that kept his head on, and he was barred from the Headless Troop for all eternity.
That sucks.
Yeah, and he was like, I fucking hate life. I hate unlife too.
and because he never had to fulfill his life's goal, he's stuck being a ghost forever. Also, the
You
fact
can't
that-
just move
Why'd you
on.
have Hogwarts?
they just have ghosts of like old men, like old people at Hogwarts hanging out all the time, which seems like
Do you like
those
feed them?
They don't feel they
I think there's like
What do they do?
And there's a
And-
contract. Like they have jobs.
yeah, some of them are teachers, yeah. But it's like, why would you
Like hall monitors.
like why would you get? Do they pay you? What you can't go buy anything.
Yeah, what do you win?
Yeah, like I would like a TV, please. I guess like I guess you could game. It's like,
You just game all day.
yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Nearly Headless Nick.
Um,
I'm challenging Dark Souls again. You know, it's only been out for like 8 years now, but I think I can get past the Taurus Demon this time. Here we go.
Well, I feel like having a bunch of like weird ghosts in the school seems like you're like they'd probably say really inappropriate things to some students. Like
They had a peeping Tom.
I was
Yeah,
about to say,
yeah.
can't they go into the girls' rooms?
oh yeah, totally.
No, the peeping Tom was a girl.
Oh yeah, Myrtle. Yeah, Myrtle.
Moaning Myrtle. Like,
Would, like,
legitimately, there is a scene in the 4th book and in the movie, if you remember, where Moaning Myrtle crawls into Harry's bath.
Yes, I do
And
remember
then she
that.
starts jerking him off. No, I'm kidding.
I do
He
remember
covers
that.
himself up with bubbles, and she's like, "Oh, well, I can wait until the bubbles are all gone." And he goes, "No, Myrtle, tell me what you know. Tell me what you know, you evil witch."
I don't know, wasn't she like kind of cute though?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think she was supposed to be. I'll look her up.
But she had pigtails and like big glasses.
I mean,
That's my type.
I abhor pigtails more than anything in creation. I don't think you know this about me.
Were you beat up by a girl with pigtails?
No, I just don't like them.
That's how I feel about female bangs.
She was played by Shirley Henderson.
Not too bad. The makeup makes her look like 5 years older than.
Yeah, she's not supposed to look.
Oh, the girl from Train Spotting. That's right.
Fuck.
That's weird.
Okay.
Didn't expect that.
Oh, she was 40 when she played a 14-year-old ghost in Harry Potter.
Nice.
That explains the Train Spotting, right? I was also very confused.
Yeah.
Like, did they come out before?
Anyway. Yeah, no. I
Harry
think,
Potter has a lot of good and a lot of bad.
I think one of the best portrayals of grief was when Sirius dies in book 5, and then like the last like 10% of the book is just Harry like desperately trying to find ways to get Sirius back in his life again, and it just
Why did he become a ghost?
because
His soul got obliterated.
Oh.
They also said he was probably like he didn't really have any unfinished business. He was kind of super depressed. He was like, yeah.
Basically, he went through like the door to death.
What was the veil?
That they just yeah, it's called the Veil in the book. It's basically just the doorway to the underworld, and they just keep it in the Ministry of Magic. Just there.
Yeah, there's not even like a safety like fence or like in glass. It's like so he was dead anyway because he got killed a killing curse and he found
His cousin.
his cousin Bellatrix Lestrange killed him. God, but that line in the movie really does hit when he says, "Just like the old times, James," to Harry because he's so in the moment and he like because like Sirius just misses his friends.
Yeah, well, you gotta remember, in prison, the Dementors specifically feed on bad memories. So they will dredge up your worst memories every second of every day. So for like 15 or 16 years, all he was experiencing were just his worst nightmares over and over and over again. And he couldn't make it stop because like you can't fight them off. They're like ghosts. You can't like punch them.
Can't you? You can summon a deer.
If you have your wand.
I thought he just
Wandless casting in Hogwarts in the Harry Potter universe is like
That's not a thing. No one can do that.
I think some can, but you have to be like a magical creature.
Yeah, only magical creatures, not wizards. Yeah.
Like I don't even think Dumbledore did it.
No, Voldemort can only just like I got his.
I see.
Like there might be like some telekinesis you can do, but like Expecto Patronum is a high level spell actually.
Yeah, it's really like everyone's like, wait, a 15 like in the 5th book they're like, wait, a 15-year-old can make a Patronus. Like what the fuck? And then like it got him points in the court because all the guys in the court were like, no, that shit's pretty metal.
Specifically, he can summon a manifestation Patronus.
Not just like a ball.
Like the usual version is like just a shield, but summoning a manifested Patronus, I don't know if that's the technical term for it.
Yeah.
But like the stag that he summons is like, oh, that's like some 9th years can't do that.
That's pretty metal.
Like it's like this and apparating are like on the same level.
What's weird is like I fucking hate
and it's a fucking useless spell.
It doesn't do anything.
it
Aside from warding off
bounce
the mentors,
around.
no.
So like I hated this in the movies. They only show the stag, like in the fucking in the third movie.
Mm-hmm.
But because every time Harry cast it, was a ball. It was fucking lame. Like in the 5th book when the Dementors run up on Harry, like, what the fuck you doing here, boy? In London, some South Londoners, gonna shank him. But anyway, he summons a deer, and the deer kicks their asses and makes them run away. Because a Dementor can't beat a Patronus. Mm-hmm. They don't show that in the movie at all. It's really fucking frustrating.
You know what I really like? How Snape's Patronus is the most cuck shit imaginable.
He's just a cuck. Okay. Like, I want to.
So, like, your Patronus is like a manifestation of your soul, basically. Like, Harry's is a stag because his dad was basically an animorph, and his morph was a stag, and he didn't know. I think he did know at that point, but like his manifestation is his father. Like, that's important to him. And James was known for being the stag. Like that was his iconography.
So he and like his friends get together. There's a special like magical ritual we can do to let you take the form of any animal permanently, like that. You don't have to cast a spell. So
I can't remember what they're called.
I forgot too. Anyway, so like they all did this.
Animorphs.
Animals, basically.
Like animals.
So James's animal was a deer. Sirius's was a dog.
Mm. A big black dog.
Pettigrew's was a rat, and Lupin was a werewolf. So
they did it so they could hang out with Lupin.
Yeah,
because Lupin was bitten at a young age, and the only creatures that could be around a werewolf were creatures. Like, they couldn't be human around him. So they would go fuck around in the fucking Forbidden Woods with Lupin once a month.
Probably kill a lot of those sexy fish people.
Probably.
Yeah, the fact that like, a civilization of sexy fish people live in the lake next to Hogwarts is...
Yeah, did you hear them scream? That was not sexy.
Being sexy.
Yeah, maybe you might.
But, so guess what Snape's fucking Patronus is?
Is it a doe?
It is.
Which is the same Patronus as Harry's mom.
No, I don't think Harry's mom's Patronus was a doe.
No, it is a doe. I just looked it up.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I just checked it, yeah.
Because, which is fucking funny. But also,
Oof.
yeah.
Okay, so in the last movie, Snape has a scene.
I think you can have, like, non-animal Patronuses, too. Like, you didn't even, like, have a Lily.
Yeah, no, right, yeah.
Which was her name.
That would have been worse.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, so Snape is just basically like a cringe cuck lord for Lily. That's why I always hated Harry. But in like the last movie, you go through his memories. And when I was a kid, I saw the movie for the first time. I misunderstood it. Because I thought Snape was saying like, oh, he's always actually cared about Harry. Because like, Harry won him over. I was completely wrong. It was just like about his mom, who's dead. Like, it's so fucking pathetic and cringe. Then Harry names one of his kids after essentially his mom's stalker. Like, what? I don't know what the fuck. If it would have been better if Snape was like, I've grown fond of Harry. Because, like, I know the line. I remember the line exactly because Dumbledore goes, oh, don't tell me you've grown fond of the boy. Because Dumbledore's like, we have a great suicide bomb right here. And Snape's like, what the fuck? And then I thought it was for the right reason.
Dumbledore's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and Snape goes, and he just says, always. I don't mean he was always fond of Harry. No, it's always fond of Lily.
Because they say many, many times during the books that Harry has Lily's eyes.
Mm.
It's fucking gay as shit.
He's like, I
This
thought
is
we were
very
doing this
gay.
because he was her son. And then Dumbledore's like,
Yeah,
fuck
like-
no.
like
Retard. Literally what he's...
Why the fuck would we ever do that?
Why would we do that? I've been grooming this kid to kill himself for 17 years. Literally, he was grooming Harry to kill himself.
He's like, do you think we couldn't have supported him? No! We gave him to the Muggles so he'd have maximum psychological damage.
And then he'd be so grateful for his wizard friends in Hogwarts that he'll want to keep them alive. It's like literally his plan.
Which they say in the books, like, no, we kept you with the Dursleys because they were so Muggle that, like, no one would suspect them of having, you know, their nephew, who they constantly talk about being their nephew.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It also he had
They're
some protection.
They are in the phone book.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, like, it's really weird that like no one rolled up on them because like I remember so
They're in the lighthouse.
No,
right?
no,
They're in the
that
lighthouse?
was no. They moved there because Hagrid was like, "I'm coming for you."
There's Terminator walking.
Hagrid is like S tier when it comes to sheer physical strength. He bent a shotgun barrel with his bare one hand.
Well, he's half giant.
Yeah, so it's like, vroom.
Which his mother was the giant.
That's kind of cute.
That's kind of hot.
I do have a giant S fetish, as we all know.
So wait,
They're not attractive.
so like Harry had protection extended to like Lily's sister Petunia, but when he turned 17, like the wizard age of consent, he lost the protection.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, very high highs. Like, Voldemort's backstory, fucking phenomenal. Very low lows.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay, shit. We've been talking. It's been like an hour and a half. I think we've hit our standard length.
Yeah.
This sounds good.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks for the talk, guys. See you next week.
We're gonna
Thanks
wrap
for
it up.
checking in, audience. Whoa.